Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of the Nintendo Jump Podcast. We are a weekly discussion podcast created for Nintendo gamers by Nintendo gamers. It's the week of September 10th. My name is Kevin, and today I'm once again joined by Daryl.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And Sergio.
Hello, everybody.
What's good, guys? How are y'all feeling about episode 12? Any things you want to say about it?
I just wish there was something to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, 3 months into this and we're already out of topics.
Well, I'm just going to jump in right here. 12. Final Fantasy. That's all I got to say.
Oh, it's true.
Oh, okay. That was lame. With that being said, we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened earlier today, which included the game that I've pretty much talked about just now. So that's one of them. With that being said, what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about this Nintendo Direct? I mean, there was a lot that was shown. You know, some 3DS games, and then a bunch of Nintendo Switch games. Boom. What do you guys think?
I liked it. This is kind of a weird circumstance because this one actually got held back a little bit,
right?
By literally being held back a little bit, and in the meantime, some of the big, I'll say like the big impact type games actually got dropped on their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there were a couple huge surprises in this that just weren't surprises afterwards.
Yes.
But I'm willing to kind of look past that and still think that this was a pretty good direct because it did include those games. You know, the fact that they dropped early, it's a little bit unfortunate, but they were shown off. I'm still kind of including them with it. So I'm pretty happy coming out of it.
Yes, definitely. I was with you. You know, I thought since it's getting delayed and we heard so many things in the leak about Yoshi's Crafting World and a lot of different announcements, I thought, well, it's probably going to be a rehash or, it's going to be maybe less time. But when they announced that it was going to be 35 minutes again, then I thought, yeah, they're just going to announce things again. But even so, I mean, the amount of news that we had, like brand new information, I thought it was amazing. I love this direct.
Yeah, same here. One of the games that I really did enjoy just watching the footage of was a monster RPG called Town by Game Freak. Like, holy shoot, guys.
Yes.
I did not expect that. I was like thinking, yo, Game Freak's going to be on that Pokemon train for days, for years. But, man, they put out a good one from this direct, man. Whoa.
No, that came out of nowhere and it looks cool.
Yeah.
But it is called Town working title, so definitely make sure to keep that full title every time we mention it.
Yeah, for sure. And, I guess I was sort of expecting, well, not really expecting, but I thought maybe, just maybe there's a sliver of a chance that they might talk about the 8th generation Pokemon games. But that's okay because, in the end, they have a plan, just like how they're going to make a new F-Zero game. But, which may not ever materialize, but it's all good because I'm just going to keep, thinking about it from time to time. But anyway, yeah, the town is cool. And, just, oh, man, 2 words. Final Fantasy, like, holy shoot. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, like, that was like a bam. Like,
Well, it's like Square Enix saw that Octopath is doing pretty well on Switch, actually very well on Switch, and just like, they looked over and they're like, they have this big red button that says port all games. And
pretty much.
They're just like, well, I think it's time, guys. And they just smashed that button and they're like, okay, every game on Switch, go, 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 go. It's amazing. And what I don't want to get lost, and one of the main games that got spoiled, I think, ahead of time, so Final Fantasy 7, huge. Final Fantasy 9, huge. Final Fantasy 10, 10 plus 2, whatever the numbering scheme is. 12, huge. 15 Pocket Edition, we knew that was coming, but, that's big as well. Mm-hmm. But the one I don't want to get lost is actually, like, so the three of us each have one particular game that we think about constantly, right? So Sergio's is Animal Crossing and Kevin's is F-Zero. Mine is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah.
So the fact that game dropped on Switch, and it's coming out later this year. It's coming with online play. Like, that completely blows my mind because this is something that I really, really wanted to happen, and I've been talking about it for not too much publicly on this podcast, but I've been talking with friends and such for a very long time that I really wanted this to happen, and it's finally it's coming. So
Yes.
Right.
it's really interesting to see a game that I consider to be on my top 10 all time list to actually drop, with the ability to play online, get away from that Game Boy Advance link cable nonsense that kept everybody from playing the game. I think it's amazing. I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those games that it makes a lot of sense on the Switch, like a Four Swords, a Zelda Four Swords. It makes so much sense that they don't do it. And now that they're actually doing it, I wonder what's wrong.
I mean, at some point, this has to fall out from beneath me, right? Like, I can't keep getting all the games that I want and characters in Smash and things like that, right? I'm a little scared, guys.
And I do have a question though, Daryl, because I have been curious about this game. I even thought about buying an old copy and the cables needed to play it, but I heard that it is not as much fun if you only play it with two people. Do you believe that, or what are your thoughts on that?
No. So I think it does fine with two people. Actually, that's I played through all of it back on the GameCube with my best friend, and only the two of us, and it worked fine.
Wow.
So
Okay.
Pretty good.
I could see why it would work better with more people. I was not rich, I want to say, so I didn't have a ton of Game Boy Advances to play with a bunch of people.
Right.
The most I ever got was 3, and the third person didn't really know what they were doing, so I didn't get that full experience. But I will say, as a 2-person co-op game, it works really well.
Oh, awesome. And then with online, I mean, that's easy now.
Oh, yeah.
So many
And-
communities to play with, yeah.
And the one thing people throw in there, so not to get way too deep in this game, but in Crystal Chronicles, the world is poison, right? So the atmosphere is poison, and everybody survives it by having these crystals around them.
Mhm.
What that means is that there's this chalice, basically a bucket that you've got to carry around with you through the dungeons and such. And if you do it correctly, you are kind of trading off who's taking the chalice with them, because when you're holding it, you can't attack or anything like that. And there's this sphere around it that is a safe area that you're not getting damage from the poison. But if you do it right, then you run up to an enemy, you drop it, everybody attacks the enemy, then somebody picks up the chalice when they need to move or dodge or something.
Right.
And it kind of adds a mechanic. When you do it wrong, one person holds it the entire time and gets really bored and hates the game. So you'll see that commentary online, but I will say, you can definitely not be that guy. Like, you don't have to. You can just grab it, throw it, position it, and go hack and slash on the monster. It's kind of a simple dungeon crawling loot based game, kind of similar to like a Diablo or something, but
Right.
Oh, interesting.
more of a story, less of a grind. And some really fascinating story elements and really, really good music. So-
Music, yes. Right.
What is your favorite part about this game? Because personally, I've never played the game, and just based off your excitement from our previous conversations before this podcast, like, you seem like super legitimately excited about this game. So I'm just wondering, like, what is your favorite part?
So I said earlier on this podcast that Wind Waker has gotten better over time.
Right.
I played Crystal Chronicles around the same time, and it hasn't. It hit very hard the first time I played it, and it's just stayed right there. In my opinion, it has maybe the best soundtrack ever.
Whoa.
Like, one of the best soundtracks ever. It's really fun co-op gameplay. I never played it single player. You can,
Oh, wow.
but I actually only played it co-op, and it was really a really good time. So it's kind of the world that they build, the music that they do, and I'll talk more about that later on, I'm sure. But and the gameplay's just really good. Like, it kind of plays like a fairly standard action RPG, but the moves that you have, the response that you have, how everything feels is really good. There's 4 different types of characters. They all have different attacks, and different abilities. Is like, well, there's one that's really good at casting magic. There's one that's really good at attacking versus defending, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of variety, a lot of character customization, and the world is great. So just kind of overall, it's just kind of the overall game is really high on my list.
That's awesome. And like, how long have you played? Like, what was the longest you played? Like, in terms of like, I guess the number of hours you spent. Like, how many hours did you spend playing this game?
Oh man, I mean, this was back in the days that I didn't really care how long I played a game. I mean, you're probably talking it. It feels fairly long. You're probably talking 20, 30 hours for a standard playthrough, but there's a lot of incentive to keep going back to levels and such, so I could see that getting more.
Yeah, and you know, with online play, you're gonna be playing with a lot of different groups of people now, so I'm sure every play is gonna be a different experience. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Man, and speaking of online play though, how about that Nintendo Switch Online information? Like, what do you guys think about what they talked about in terms of what you get out of your membership? Like, I mean, the price is cool, $20 a year, but what about the contents, guys? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I mean, they announced what they had. I mean, it was a little bit misleading. You know, they talked about cloud save backups, and they didn't mention that it doesn't work for all games. I would have liked to see that, acknowledge it. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to work something out, and maybe that's why they didn't mention anything. But yeah, the pricing is good. I wish they would have talked more about the offers instead of saying we'll talk more about that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
The special Nintendo or NES controllers for as Joy-Cons kind of thing, those look awesome. I heard those are exclusive to people that pay for the membership, which is interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, well, nobody else needs them, right?
Right.
No, so I kind of came out of this thinking, well, we already knew all this, right?
Yes.
And people have been saying the entire time that we didn't know enough about the online service, and we were really looking forward to learning more about it. And kind of in the back of my mind has been saying this whole time, well, maybe what we know is what it is. Like that that's just what it is. And from this, yeah, kind of. This is kind of what we're expecting. Right now, NES games with online play. I will say the NES games they showed, there were more of them and more diversity than I expected. So as soon as I saw something like Tech Mobile on there, my eyebrows raised a little bit because that's a really good multiplayer game from a third party. So that's something I didn't quite expect, and that's very nice to see. Also, like you mentioned, this big glowing box that says special offers, more details coming soon. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, what could that be?
That might be great. It might be nothing. I don't know.
And then it was nice for them to talk about the cell phone app, and I guess they showed Mario Tennis Aces voice chat,
that was
and
awesome.
That's it.
Well, so they said one thing in that video that I don't know what they mean, and it could be awesome or it could be nothing, like kind of like everything here. They said, quote, backseat players can also join in the conversation, and they showed this by Luigi walking up behind Toad playing, and then like high-fiving Mario in the communication bubble. I have no idea what that means. Right?
I think it's just like, it's a gimmick. I seriously doubt you can do that like over the...
So what that could be, and not to always harp on the same thing, but what that could be is like the making of a party system, actually. If you can have people who are not playing the game in the conversation, that might be exactly what I want. Or it might be absolutely nothing because Luigi didn't pop up on the cell phone app. He wasn't holding a cell phone. This is so stupid, but it's these are the things I'm clinging on to. I have no idea.
Right.
Either way, it was a nice touch. I mean, I was like, this is so Nintendo. Like they would do something like that. Yeah. But it was interesting because I have a coworker yesterday who talked to me about how he got his son the Nintendo Switch. But he was like, yo, but Kevin, what about all the old games, though? Like, where can I play those old games? And I was like, well, you know what? With Nintendo Switch Online, you can, because I was talking to him about how you have all these old games you can play, such as Super Mario Bros. 3.
See, this is a salesman.
Right. And, I mean, that's all you need to know. And I didn't even expect the the NES controllers to be in that format. I mean I mean it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yes.
It's awesome. Like just man, goodness. But I have to say though, I don't want to spoil the party for this one, but I really did like the why am I drawing a blank? Insane Uz. I am the Pokemon Let's Go Joy-Cons. Those were like, oh man.
You don't like yellow and brown color scheme?
Yeah, no, I love those. It was great. I really like. Well, I thought that I think that appealed to me a bit more, just because like I wanted. I guess for me, in terms of having Joy-Cons, like I really like the colors that they provided for like with the Eevee and the Pikachu. I was like, man, now I want to get those. Ah, man, but dang it, I already have 2 pairs of Joy-Cons. I don't know. It's like it's those darn questions that you have in your mind, like, should I get them? I mean, I don't need them, but first world problems. I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, I mean, so Nintendo just figured out a way to charge $60 for 2 NES controllers, and people are gonna eat those up because they're exclusive.
Oh, they will.
So,
they will. Oh,
they're just magic. I don't know how they do this. They just do.
I don't know, man, but I'm tempted. But I gotta ask my wallet, man. But anyway, we talked about a bit of Mario Tennis Aces, and I don't know about you guys, but that was awesome because in terms of the expectations of what they bring out month by month, because in the previous months they would release 1 new character a month, and it's like that's cool, but I mean. This time they have 4 new characters. Like, holy shoot, man! I was like, dang, okay, we get Birdo, we get Koopa Paratroopa, Shy Guy, and Petey Piranha. Like, okay, get some more characters. I'm getting a bit more excited, get more hyped. Coming from someone like me who did play a bunch of Mario Tennis Aces before, like when it first came out, and then slowly just not playing as much, but on the occasional. So.
Yeah, I was glad to see like they're finally adding some new modes to things. Like I saw the ring challenge come back and like these co-op modes, which look like
that was cool.
4-player boss fight type things. It's nice to see because one of the overlying comments on the game was that it was kind of light on content. So it's kind of nice to see them add this kind of stuff back, because I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I fell off the train really hard with Mario Tennis, and it's neat to see them trying to support that game. That all the characters were kind of leaked already, like we kind of knew about them, but it's cool to see them in action, and the modes I think were all new, so that's pretty cool to see.
One of the things that I really liked about this Nintendo Direct was that they showed off this way to play board games online, or just Asmodee Digital, if I'm saying that correctly. Bringing all these tabletop games to the Switch. Like you got Carcassonne, you got Settlers of Catan, and Munchkin, or excuse me, a game based on Munchkin. Man,
I'm gonna cut you there, but all those games are local. They're not. They do not have online play.
They are.
And that hurts so bad because I would love for those games to have online play. Just not there. They specifically said it's local, which I think is a huge missed opportunity for those.
You hear that, Nintendo? Come on, guys. What y'all doing? Oh, man. It would have been great for online.
Well, it's the start of the service. Maybe they could add it to these games, or maybe future games will have it.
Yeah. Just have to, just mention it every single time we have a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, no, you're right. I think that it is like a test run. It's like, actually, if you think about it, Nintendo Switch Online, this membership thing is like a test run, and for them to bring these NES games into the mix, and the new awesome Joy-Con NES controllers. I don't know why I said Joy-Cons, but they're pretty much Joy-Cons. And the special offers, which I think, now it could be that they might have like indie games that will come out, maybe 1 indie game per month that's free. That could be the special offer.
Yeah, hidden in this announcement might be everything that we said we wanted last week, or it might be none of it, and we don't know.
You hear, Nintendo? We're playing psychic here. We are psychics. We're coming for you. in the most friendly way. So give us our due. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, no, I think it's just we care a lot about what's gonna come next, and I think pretty much what you guys have mentioned. We did see what we kind of expected, and hey, for $20 a year, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
It's not a bad price, to be honest.
bad.
I don't mind, and they have this big family plan for 35, which is up to like 7 accounts, which, as far as I know, is not limited. Like, they haven't really restricted what you can call a family, which I think is really interesting.
Right.
I thought it was 8 people or 8 accounts, right? Or am I mistaken?
No, I believe that's right. So it's yours or your main account and then 7
Right.
others.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Nintendo Jump Podcast. Online account right here. Boom. 3 of us right here. Or, excuse me, 4, right? Daryl, would your wife like to be a part of it? I mean, we have 4 accounts, man. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I'm not sure I'm ready for that kind of commitment with you guys, but we'll figure it out.
Man.
We'll figure it out.
Man. Okay. I just wanted to bring it out there because, I think it'll be an awesome deal. And seeing that we're doing this podcast, fork, yeah. So there are other games that were announced that, oh man, there's just too many. It was a pretty awesome direct, but
Yeah, so one that really, really stood out to me is every time we see this game, it's actually Starlink, right? So every time we see this game,
Yeah.
it looks more and more like Star Fox, which is just really
Yes.
funny
Yeah.
to me. Like, to see the evolution of this game into just a Star Fox game, and
yeah,
that's hilarious. So this time we actually saw the full crew kind of pop up in the link conversations earlier, but now we've actually seen them in their full rendered glory, right? And they actually showed Wolf, who looks freaking incredible, like really, really good. So I don't know. I mean, this game has gone from one of those, it might be terrible, to it might be awesome, to it's probably awesome. I'm really looking forward to that game.
It's the next Star Fox game.
Yo, it's gonna be it.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, might as well be.
we'll
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny if, like, in the next announcement, they'll show the title Starlink, Bow for Atlas.
And just
And
cross
then-
it out and write Star Fox.
Yeah, or just replace the link with Fox. Like, oh shoot, okay. It's like they're playing all along. You hear that, Starlink? We're predicting things. We are predicting things. Don't you think for a minute that we're not, because we are. And if that is true, give us some credit. Or not. Anyway.
What else? So let's leave the big one till the end, right? But what
Oh.
else stood out to you, Sergio?
Yes. So they, like we said, they did talk about Yoshi's Crafting World, and it
Yeah.
does look even more amazing. There was no mention of Lavo, but it's a 2019 game, so they could be working on something. But man, I mean, it looks so good. If we thought Woolly World looked good, and it did, this looks amazing. And the fact that you can replay the course from the other perspective, and you get a completely different view and different angles of the camera, it looks amazing, and it looks like a lot of fun too.
They are doing some awesome stuff with the 2D platformer, as it were, right?
Yes.
Some of the stuff that they're doing in there, it's amazing that nobody's really done this or really thought about it. It almost reminds me of that Wii game, Super Paper Mario, a little bit.
Yes, that's
That
right.
Ooh,
you could rotate the world around and things like that, which
Mm-hmm.
that's an underappreciated game as well. But this one, it looks like it's taking that, but it's almost taking it to just a crazy level. Like, here's the
Yes.
backside of the level, and you see all the props being held up by sticks and tape and stuff. It's just, I don't know. I think it looks really, really good, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I even, you know what? I have my Yoshi's Woolly World amiibo right here in my right hand, and like I'm just like when I saw the trailer, I was like, holy shoot! And I grabbed my amiibo, not 5 feet away from me, more like 3, and I was like, yeah! Oh man.
I'm just gonna say that mine is 2 feet away from me. So
Oh, touche. But yeah, I hope that they release some amiibo that goes along with the game, because I really like the fact that when they released
Ooh.
Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U,
Oh, wow.
I got that package. Excuse me, a lot of people, including me, got the bundle. You get the game and the amiibo. I mean, how cool is that? Like, it was
Yeah.
what a good way to sell it. And I remember even before the game was released, they were talking about how they thought about the yarn concept, and and they showed like this one store with all this yarn, and I was like, wow, like this is really intriguing to learn about the history behind how they made the game and the concepts, and I was just pretty excited. And I was like, man, I had to get the amiibo. And then E3 came about, and I was like, holy shoot! And I saw the Yoshi's yarn amiibo. Like, there was like green, there's pink and light blue in the display, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait. Dang. So
You know what? I think you called it. Let's call it right here, right now.
yeah.
The amiibo for the game are gonna be of cardboard. It's gonna be Labo amiibo. You're gonna have to build them.
No, it's not gonna be Labo Amiibo. It's gonna be Labibo.
Yeah.
Amiibo. You hear
Wow, you
Nintendo?
went for it, huh?
We're being psychics again. We're being psychics again. But that'd be great, man. Oh goodness gracious.
Another game that I actually didn't see because I was a little bit late to the direct, but when I heard about it, oh man, I was floored. Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch. That's
Ba-ba-ba-boom.
awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was cool.
I did not expect this at all, and I kind of expected that it was coming at some point, but I don't know. This kind of blew me out of the water a little bit, because we got that 3DS one coming, and then they start showing Luigi's Mansion. I'm like, this looks a lot better than 3DS. What are they doing? I'm really interested to see exactly who's developing it, what the format is. Like, the first Luigi's Mansion was one mansion. The second one was more kind of segmented and in multiple
Right.
different level type mansions. It looked neat. The overall artwork had like one really tall mansion, so maybe that's how they're doing the distinct areas. I
yes.
don't know. Did you guys see later on in that trailer they actually had like hanging portraits of each of the Mario characters? It was really creepy.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
like,
wow.
whoa. It was definitely noticeable, man.
No, that looks excellent.
Yeah. Speaking of excellent, I'm glad that they are coming back with the new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. So, got another deluxe. I think we talked about this topic before, right? We talked about what games that would be nice for like an Ultimate Edition or Deluxe Edition, and it's a port of the Wii U game. Have you guys played the Wii U game before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played just the regular one, not the Luigi one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't play the Luigi one either, but
I did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
cool.
Luigi one was kind of crazy because every level had 99 seconds only.
Oh man.
So you had to go super fast, and you jump a little higher, and everything was kind of thrown off. It was actually a lot of fun. I really liked the Luigi one.
Hmm.
I don't know that I want to get it again, though. Like, they didn't really show enough for me to really want to jump back in. But for anybody who's coming in, that this would be your first time with the game, it's a really good game. Like,
Yeah,
it's really good.
Good platformer. Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely a lot of content, and also for anybody that's gonna be able to play the game with people like on the go, on the spot, you're able to play with up to 4 people, different players. That's a good option, I think. That when they said that, it kind of clicked on my head. Yeah, that's a good reason for a port like this.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Mario 3D World.
Oh, for
Come in.
sure.
Oh,
Yes.
I did not play that game.
Oh man, I think that was absolutely incredible and one of the better games on the Wii U. Like, just a lot of fun throughout, a lot of really cool, inventive level choices, and it did not sell well because it was on a practically dead console at the time.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I would like to see that one come
man.
back because it's
Yeah.
excellent. But I will never be upset about a 2D side-scrolling Mario. That's a good thing. So.
Right.
Mhm. Speaking of good things, there were some other good things that came out with, The World Ends With You, Final Remix. I don't know if you guys played the original one, but it was a pretty awesome game. Especially in the title, was pretty intriguing too. And man, I'm glad that they're bringing that back in. And for those who play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I still have to finish my copy, but they're gonna, excuse me, they get the Prelude RPG in the form of Torna the Golden Country, which comes out on September 21st, it's very soon, 8 days, holy shoot, fork, yeah. I mean, oh man, I don't know. Like I want to play it, but I'm still finishing Octopath Traveler, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. I just priorities.
I mean, it's good for there to be an RPG out because we don't have that many RPGs coming anymore.
True, yeah. It's it. I do need to get back to the Xenoblade Chronicles too, man. It is a pretty awesome game. I just felt like I was too tired of the grind of getting the rare blades and getting all the stories and trying to see like who's gonna talk to who and all the heart to heart moments and stuff, and it just got very very tiring. But you know, but the music though, man.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Oh,
And
like yeah,
what they're doing with Torna almost makes me want to play it. Like, I actually played through Xenoblade 2, and at that point I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't need the DLC. I loved the game, and I'm not. This is not a knock on the game, but it ends really well. So it's just like, sweet. Put the game away, call it done. And then they're showing some cool stuff with the prequel DLC. I'm interested in it. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna pick it up because, like you said, and like I alluded to, there are so many RPGs coming, like so many. And as somebody who has not played Final Fantasy 7 or 9 or any of those games that are on other consoles I didn't have at the time, it's going to be an incredible year for RPGs for me. But
you know what you can do, Daryl. You know what you can do. You can play Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition right here, right now on the eShop. You can go down it. Actually, I don't know how much it is, but
they said it was introductory pricing, which
right.
I checked. It's $17.99, which actually seems really cheap.
That's not bad. Yeah.
So normally it's going to be $29.99, but it's 40% off for a limited time at launch. So, for what I've heard about the game, it's basically a streamlined version of Final Fantasy 15, which, if you've heard about some of the stories out of Final Fantasy 15, it may not be a bad thing to have a streamlined version of that.
Right.
I have I can talk about Final Fantasy 15 for a while. I played
15 hours?
No, it's not worth 15 hours. Jokes.
It's more like 90 hours.
No. But I mean, I guess for me, because I was really hyped about the game, and I don't know, but I don't know if you guys know about the story behind it, where it used to be Final Fantasy versus 13, and then it had a totally different,
that's right.
like totally different story ish. I'm gonna backtrack on that, and then they have the Final Fantasy 15 that came out, and I gotta tell you though, the bromance is real. The bromance is awesome. All the four guys is, having a bro venture. I don't know why I'm saying this, but the gameplay, the way you're able to battle against, like just I don't want to say opponents, but just battle against people and all that. Like the battle system is pretty nice. Yeah, it's not too complicated, so you'll be able to get into it pretty easily. So I think you'll like it a lot. I just feel like the story wasn't as executed as it should have been, but nevertheless, you definitely should play it. And I don't know much about the Pocket Edition, I have to admit, but if you have a chance to try it out and play it, man, you gotta get it. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely very, very interested. And you know what? Two other games, just to touch on them really quickly, that were also announced today, part of Final Fantasy. Actually, the first one was kind of a dream of mine. I always wanted this game, but the time kept passing by and there was nothing, but it's finally happening. World of Final Fantasy is coming to the Switch. That's an awesome game. Think of it like if Nintendo and Game Freak made a classic RPG. That's how I would describe it. It's really good and very funny, non-traditional humor. It's really cool, and it has a lot of different options that you can do. And also, Chocobo's Dungeon, everybody.
Yeah.
I love that name, and that game is really good. It's actually really challenging. Dungeon crawlers typically are, so it's really good. It has great music, too.
I have to get that game. I did not play it before, so I mean, what was it released on before? I don't remember.
That was on the Wii.
Okay.
Yes.
I see. Dang it! I should have known better.
No, like I said, it seriously feels to me like Square Enix is just like, you know what? Switch gets every game.
Yes, I want the Theatrhythm games.
At this point, I kind of expect like Theatrhythm Ultimate Edition or something. Also, Tomb Raider. Why not? Let's go.
Ooh, yeah.
They have a few other games that they could definitely jump on, and it seems like they're really, really backing up their "Hey, the Switch is interesting" talks. Which,
Right.
hey, I love to see it. I'm gonna be in on a bunch of these games, so it's really cool to see. Jumping back a little bit to The World Ends with You. So this is a game that came out on the DS.
Right.
People who played it really, really liked it, but not that many people played it.
Right.
And it's being re-released with admittedly upgraded visuals. Like, it looks really good and some new story segments and things like that. But it's being released at $49.99, and that strikes me as really high. I don't know if I'm alone on that, but it strikes me as pretty expensive for that game.
No, you're not alone. I think it should be more like within the 20-25 range, just because of the fact that it's a remix game. I mean, like if it were, I think at most $24.99, and then there would be a good buy. But for that much though, man.
Yeah, I was happy to see. We heard about it a long time ago, and I was happy to see it was coming. But then when the rumored prices started dropping on, I'd really like to try the game, but I don't know that I can drop $50 on it. I don't think I'll be there.
Yeah, that's a coin flip. I think, well, maybe 5 coin flips. I mean, you just gotta really just think about, how much you really want to play it, and it is quite a bit to spend on. But I would still put it on your wish list for games that you might want to buy that hopefully will come down in price. And yeah, geez, Square Enix though. Oh my goodness, like I want to play Final Fantasy 12, man. I mean, I thought about playing it for the PS4, but if it's gonna be on the Switch, fork, yeah, damn.
Yeah, a couple things that other announcements that seem really big to me right now. Got spoiled, but Civilization 6.
Yeah,
really big game, like really, really big to be coming out. I've heard it has some frame rate issues on the TV while docked, but it's not even out yet. So
okay.
Let's give it a second and a couple patches. And then City Skylines also seems pretty big to me. That just kind of dropped out of nowhere.
Is that kind of like SimCity, or
it's more like SimCity than Sims?
Right. Okay. Right. I was gonna say it's out today.
Yeah, that was the out now.
Yeah, I really like these announcements. Like just saying like, oh, it's out today, like Into the Breach, out today. And and other games I'm trying to play.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be. I mean, we kind of expect it now. So every direct, they're kind of setting themselves up for it. We're gonna expect it every time now.
Yeah, we saw more on Diablo 3, which again, that feels like a huge game to me. So it's cool to keep seeing that come back up, and then Katamari Damacy reroll. So
yeah, that is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who love that game, and it looks weird. Like super weird.
Yeah.
So you got dancing pink cows. Why not? Yeah, let's go.
It's as weird as Donut County. Oh, got to throw that one in there. Yeah, but
yeah, it makes sense. This time it makes sense.
Oh, okay, all right.
This time it actually kind of does make sense.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll give him
all
that
right.
one.
Give me a cookie. All right. Anyway, there was more footage of Mega Man 11.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. I just downloaded the demo. I played a little bit. Looks pretty solid, very fluid. And there's that whole double gear system. I don't know. I'm a little conflicted about that because I just want to be able to play like original Mega Man with great visuals, but but have like a. I'm sure it's gonna be really challenging. I'm sure it's gonna be really challenging, but I mean, it seems like it may be overpowered.
When you see a trailer of him just wrecking the crap out of everything on screen, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's cool and all, but I mean, like, if you're able to use double gear, like, hopefully it'll still be as challenging. Because I mean, that was one of the reasons why I played the original Mega Man games. Just having that old school feel, and just being able to grind. And I still have to play the Mega Man X games. I did not play it yet. I should. Oh, my bucket list. I know. But you know what? I'm gonna get to it. It's pretty tough, man. it's pretty tough in the Octopath Traveler world when you're occupied by that one game. So, and other games, but mostly Octopath.
It's true.
Uh,
And speaking of Capcom, hey, they announced a beat 'em up bundle, which honestly looked pretty cool to me. Like it had, they said 7 classic beat 'em up games, including games like Knights of the Round, which is actually a really good game, and some of the Final Fight games I think were on there. Like, you know, you have to want to play that style, but
right.
to grab a bunch of buddies, they're all in 4-player. They said they had online co-op, which awesome. I mean,
that's pretty awesome.
That's cool. And what they did not announce in the direct is that the game is going to cost $19.99, which is really not bad for that bundle. And
Right.
I could definitely see myself picking it up just to play with some people. You know, go until everybody dies and be like, okay, good game. You know, it seems like a good time to me.
I really like these kind of games in the sense of the games I played before, where it was either Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Simpsons. Oh, the Simpsons!
Classic.
I remember back in the arcades, it's being able to play as Bart, which is one of my favorites, with the skateboard. I mean, and then I remember one time I was on vacation a long time ago, and in the hotel they had, they had the arcade cabinet for the Simpsons, and this random person, we just started playing as 2-player, and we almost beat the entire game just on quarters alone. And oh man, it was a pretty awesome experience. I mean, just being able to just grind through, and unfortunately couldn't finish the game at the time because ran out of quarters and had to go. But lame excuse, I know. But when you're 7 years old, you can't really control a lot of your destiny when you have parents trying to get you to go out to lunch and stuff. But anyway, I digress. So that's it, right? It's all the games we have to talk about.
No. I got one more game, and it's the only other game that we need to talk about from this direct. And
I was just joshing.
No. I got This is it. Like we have one more game to talk about, and then we'll draw it to a close. Okay. And that game is Daemon Ex Machina.
Yo, that game is
looks really cool.
That was
actually
pretty cool. Oh man.
Like jokes, but no, actually that looks really cool, right? So what we learned about this one is that one, it looks better than it did at the E3 demo. I'm still not over the moon about the aesthetic, like the red sky and gray buildings and stuff. It looks kind of weird, but I mean that may be a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. But it looks like a very good Gundam game. Like you are destroying other people's mechs and stealing their weapons and using their weapons, and then you can have custom loadouts, which is exactly what you want to see with that kind of thing. You can actually exit the mech and run around as a person, which is neat, and that wasn't shown off before. And the main thing, my favorite thing this podcast for some reason, 4-player online co-op. Hey. So nice. Going against giant monsters, it actually kind of looks like mech version of Monster Hunter, which sounds really fun. So I don't know. I'm definitely keeping my eyes on it. We'll see exactly how it progresses.
How's Monster Hunter? Goodness gracious. I want to play it. I want to get it, but I haven't had the time to fully invest. Have you guys played it yet?
No, I know that for those you definitely need to put a lot of time into and be ready ahead. Yeah.
So the classic Monster Hunter it's a very confusing, hard game to get into that the people who play it really want to help you get into, which is actually really cool. Like you'll see people who are really high ranked jumping into low rank matches just to help people get through the early battles and things. And the community is pretty cool about it. Like there's actually a lot of info and data out there, which is nice. It is a very rinse and repeat, grindy type of game. Everything's a boss fight pretty much. So there's specifically in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on Switch, there's 90 something monsters, and they all play really, really differently, like to fight against, and they all seem really overpowered to where you are. So it's very difficult fights that feel really awesome when you win. And then you kill the monsters, you get materials from them, you go back, you make new weapons and armor, and then you go back out and you kill other monsters and go back, make weapons and armor and rank up. And it's kind of that cycle type of game. And if you like that kind of thing, then you'll love it. Like you will love it. But you definitely have to be kind of in the mood for what Monster Hunter is, which all of the controls are really deliberate. So when you want to run in and attack, you swing this big old sword at the monster and you cannot get out of that animation suddenly, right? So it takes a lot of planning, kind of in similar ways to like the Dark Souls format. Like you really do have to plan out your moves and then kind of just take the consequences for those. And a lot of the monsters can move really fast. So it's just one of those things. Like I said, it feels like you're overpowered, or like the monsters are overpowered relative to you. So it's very hard. But when you actually do beat them, or when you get a bunch of people together and you team up on this thing, and one person is like jumping on his back and the other people are like stabbing at his toes and stuff, it's a very cool feeling, and I really like the game. It's one of those games that you really have to. This is probably my 4th time trying to get into Monster Hunter, and this is the first time that it's actually kind of clicking for me, which is cool. But it is kind of a dense game to jump into.
Right. I know it's very rewarding though in the multiplayer experience, because some of the boss fights can take from half an hour to an hour, I believe.
Oh wow!
You gotta be like really ready and patient and communicate well and team up. But the amount of time you put in, it leads to a bigger reward, more satisfying at the end.
Right, and it seems like a very deep game in terms of just the gameplay and playing with your friends and going through the grind and the bosses. But I mean, how about the story though? Is the story is there a lot of substance in the story? Like substance? Like what?
The story mostly consists of there's this monster, go kill it.
Boom! There you go. Then
hey, thanks for killing that monster. There's another one, go kill it.
What? Oh, yeah.
There is. In various games of the Monster Hunter genre, there is more of a like kind of overarching lore to that. But honestly, the reward of the game is just playing the game. You're not going to be playing these games for their story. Not really.
Got it. Well, yeah, and that's fine as long as they. It seems like the core of the game, just the fighting the monsters. I mean, that's important. And with that being said, we left out one more game for you guys. You know what? I'm going to say right now. Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story Plus Bowser's Jr.'s Journey. Am I right? Yo.
Hype.
That was cool. That was cool, right? I mean,
no.
Bowser Jr.?
No, we left off one game, to be fair.
Okay. All right. I was just joking, yeah.
We left off one game, and it's Warframe. Actually, which looks really cool. Like,
I played it on the PS4 when it first came out on launch. It's okay. I'm sorry to say it's okay, but I don't know why I said that many times.
It's
but
free.
Also, I heard from a couple birds, as in they're not birds, but I heard from a couple birds that they tweeted that the game compared to when it first came on launch to how it is now, like it's a lot better. Like, it's more streamlined. There's a lot more to do. And so I'm willing to give it a second try. So you know what? Come find me on Warframe sometime because I'm going to give it another shot. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Fine. So
Sergio, you want to take us home?
So it finally happened.
Yeah.
He's crying over there, guys.
Oh no.
You know what? They got me so good because they show Isabelle and she's just like playing Animal Crossing and you don't know I oh my god, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to expect. I got really nervous. Oh man. And it honestly surprised me that they were actually talking about Smash Brothers at first. So yes, Isabelle is coming to Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and she's no longer just an assist trophy. She's gonna be a full-fledged character, and she looks pretty awesome fighting. Yeah,
a couple things on that. One, she is not officially an Echo Fighter of Villager, but she looks really similar to him.
Right.
Two, she has this fishing pole grab thing that is a command grab that goes like halfway across the stage and grabs. I don't know how it's going to work, but it looks hilarious. And just because of that, I'm in. There we go. Welcome to Smash, Isabel.
You know,
Right,
I
right.
might have to switch out one of my, my characters to use for the 3v3 or 5v5. Was it Smash Strike? I can't believe I'm blanking out. What was it called again? The
Squad
Smash.
Strike.
Yeah, excuse me. My bad, guys. My bad.
No.
Squad Strike. So, might have to use Isabel, as my wild card. Boom.
Nice, nice.
So that's it, right? That's all.
That's what we had for the director.
Yes.
That's all I got. That's all we got. No, there's some more.
Oh yes, there was more. So, after they announced Isabel, they showed Tom Nook looking all sad, and at first I thought he was just sad because he wasn't in the game, and the villager is, and now Isabel is. So
Yeah, I thought they were pulling a Crom with that one.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
yo,
He
Echo Fighter, yeah.
looked like he was feeling down for being left out, but he made a reference that, well, I'm just gonna take the opportunity to tidy up things around here and make sure that Villager and Isabel have a nice, cool, awesome new game to come back to. And lo and behold, they finally just confirmed that they are indeed working on a mainline Animal Crossing game for 2019.
Man.
I mean, Nintendo.
Yay!
Oh God, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. That's all we needed.
Boom,
Just
boom,
let
boom,
it.
boom,
Just let us know when. Let us know it's in the works. We can wait. We don't
No,
need to know the title.
It definitely got the Metroid Prime. Here's a logo treatment.
Yeah,
On the plus
Yeah.
side, Tom Nook looks really good now.
he does. He
Super
does.
HD raccoon over here. Yeah, we
Right,
got-
right.
Mhm.
So next year is the best year.
Well,
sad.
yeah,
Everything up to this moment has been leading to this moment.
it is great that they put that in as the final thing, and obviously we're both really happy for you, Sergio, and for all Animal Crossing fans out there. Man, that is cool. So when's F-Zero's turn? I'm just kidding.
No, seriously.
know.
I want to take a moment. I want to take a moment because we had on this podcast, we had 3 pie in the sky games. In my opinion, Crystal Chronicles was the least likely of them, and it was the first one confirmed. So,
Mhm.
hey guys, I win. But your day is coming, Kevin. It's coming. Just
I hope so, man.
just got to be patient.
3 times the charm. Don't do me no harm. I might have chicken parm
Oh, okay.
on a small barn. I was trying to spit bars, but you know what? It's okay because someday it will happen. A new
Sound the
F-Zero game.
alarms.
Sound the alarms. Man, that's pretty good. That should have been the 4th line. All
No,
right.
watch. You're gonna get a new F-Zero with the raccoon from Donut County as a playable character.
Oh, there you go. Again, Donut County. You guys should play it.
All right. So,
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to do it for episode 12 of the Nintendo Jump Podcast. If you like the podcast or if you love it, please let us know. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Nintendo Jump for both of those. We also have a Facebook group that we'd love for you to join. And if you have any comments or questions about the show or future topic ideas, please write us at NintendoJumpPodcast@gmail.com. Booyah! Well, not the booyah part, but just, .com. We also want to ask that you please give us a review at your podcast app of choice. That really helps more people find us, and we'll appreciate you forever for it. Yeah. And finally, please keep sending in your favorite video game music. You know why? Because the clock is ticking down until the big music episode, which is going to happen next episode. Man,
yes.
we have some great suggestions so far, but we'd love to add yours to it. So don't hesitate. Come join the list of music. So we're always looking forward to hearing a lot about what you guys like, you guys and girls like in video game music. And I'm telling you right now, if there is one person who sends in one particular one that not a lot of people would know, and I'll tell you guys after offline, if they can list this one particular music,
We got
I'm
a
gonna
contest going.
I'm gonna send you a small gift, a small one.
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
but it's only if you send in that one particular piece of music that will be played in the big music episode. But if you can match with me with that one music piece, I will send you a small gift. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I know that was unexpected. That wasn't part of the script, but you know what? Boom, baby. So anyway, with that being being said, we're gonna jump on out of here. Once again, this is Kevin, and for Daryl and Sergio, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you guys.